I'm trying to think because I have so many choices. Oh, that is a really hard one. Hi, I'm Alexandra Monir, and I'm the author of The Final Six.
And I'm Rebecca Ross. I'm the author of The Queen's Rising, and today we're going to answer Epic Read Book Nerd questions.
So the first question is, which fictional world would you want to live in? And that's easy for me to answer because for so many years I was dreaming of getting my Hogwarts acceptance letter.
It's a good one.
I was waiting and waiting and waiting for it. So I would give anything to live in the wizarding world. Of course, you know, without all the life-threatening...
Voldemort.
Yeah, exactly. But I would love to experience that, to go to school with Harry and Ron and Hermione and get to learn my magic skills. What about you?
I think I'd have to say Middle Earth just because I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I would love to see the Shire.
Oh, so we'd both be in really awesome fantasy worlds.
Yeah.
What's the last book that made you ugly cry?
Oh.
That would have to be Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. Such an amazing, amazing book. I was just blown away by it. I remember hearing so much hype about it, and it was one of those books that absolutely lived up to it and more, and the writing was just gorgeous too.
So I think my last ugly cry book was Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta. It is such a bittersweet read, and I was just crying my eyes out by the end of it. So I love that book though, it's so good. So our next question is, which fictional character do you have the biggest crush on? I think I have to go with Jamie Fraser from Outlander. I adore him so much, and it's funny, I've got my husband into watching the show as well, and he's always like, oh, Jamie Fraser, you know, but it's I love Jamie.
Oh, that is such a good one. So I always kind of alternated between Stefan and Damon from The Vampire Diaries. I feel like it depended on what was happening in each season. There were some seasons where I was passionate for Damon.
Aren't they brothers too?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They're brothers, and they both have their dark sides, which is kind of sexy. So yeah, I was very sad when that show went off the air.
Oh,
I mean, obviously it had to end sometime, but I loved it. So the next question is, what's the last book you stayed up all night reading? And the answer for me is The Bells by Danielle Clayton. So good. And the end especially, so as far as staying up all night reading, the twists and turns, and it just gets darker and darker. And I mean, she's created this world that there's simultaneously all this beauty on the surface, and then on the inside, as you get deeper into the story, there's all this darkness, and I mean the end is incredible, so I could not put it down.
Yeah, I just started that one and I love it so much. I cannot wait to see how it ends. But I think the last book I read that I stayed up all night to read was The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Such a good book. I literally could not put it down. It's written in verse too, and it's just so beautifully told.
Oh, amazing. That's my next on my TBR.
So our next question is, if you could switch places with any YA character, who would it be? And this is actually kind of a hard question to answer, but I think I would love to switch places with Feyre because I would really like to see the Night Court and meet Rhys. So what about you, Alex?
I think I would have to go with America from The Selection, just because I forgot to mention also when we were talking about fictional crushes, I definitely had a thing for Prince Maxim. So, and also just her whole life seems so exciting and everything. So, I mean, who doesn't want to eventually be a queen?
Yeah, and I love The Bachelor. So
yes, me too. Bachelor Nation. So the next question is, which YA character would you pick to rule the world? And that seems like a no-brainer to me, Katniss Everdeen. I mean, can you imagine a better leader? I can't.
Yeah, I totally have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I love Katniss.
Yeah, she's pretty much the best.
So our next question is, what book are you most excited to read this year? And there are so many books on my to-be-read pile, but I think I have to go with Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. It's this Viking-inspired fantasy I am so excited about. What about you, Alex?
Well, for me, it would have to be the third book in the Three Dark Crowns series by Kendare Blake, Two Dark Reigns. You guys, I know this series is so popular, but if you're one of the very few people that haven't read it yet, you have to read it. It's so good. I think what immediately drew me in and hooked me into Three Dark Crowns was just the concept was so brilliant, and the idea that these three sisters essentially are these three different queens, that one of them is going to be the last one standing and basically the other two have to die. Like that, just like the concept was like so gripping for me, and then the writing, the characters were amazing. I mean, I was so hooked in and suckered in like right away.